If you're an OG on this channel, you probably know that the past couple years I started NoFap semen retention essentially so that I could find my wife, because that was very important to me. Now at the moment I'm currently not on the market, but in that process of trying to find my wife, I went on a lot of dates, an insane amount of dates. And the thing is, when you go on this many dates, you build up the skill. You know exactly how to get any woman obsessed with you. And that's what today's all about, man. I'm giving you all my secrets from whenever I was dating on how to make any girl you're on a date with fall in love with you. That's gonna be the premise of this. Let's get it. First of all, before the date, I have a couple of ground rules for myself that you should definitely be incorporating. Number one, stop freaking talking to her, man. I hate seeing guys do this. They're texting girls. Let's say you set a date. Now you're texting this girl all the time like, how's your day, sweetie? What'd you do today? What's your favorite color? You have any brothers or sisters? Shut up, man. Just stop talking. Like, these questions, like any question, should be reserved for the date. So you set the date, you text her the day before, just, hey, I'm really looking forward to seeing you at this place, at this time, blah, blah, blah. You keep it super simple, and don't ask her if she's gonna show up as well. This makes you look like you're not very confident. Another rule I have is to never, ever, ever compliment a girl before you're in a committed relationship with her. If you actually have a partner, you have a girlfriend, something more serious, you should definitely be complimenting your partner on a consistent basis. But if you're just dating this girl, please, the worst thing that you can actually do is compliment her. Say, oh, you're so pretty, you're so gorgeous, because without you even realizing it, you're already putting this girl on a pedestal. And that's the thing, man. Anytime you go on a date, you should be the one kind of qualifying her. That's the dynamic that you need to have. It's not, are you good enough for her? It's, is this girl good enough for me? The venue is extremely, extremely important. And a lot of guys are like, hey, let's go to the movies. No, no, no. You can't talk in the movies. You can't do anything. This is the worst place. Or you go out to dinner, you immediately put an upfront investment into this complete stranger. You want to keep a low investment, but you want to keep it somewhere that you can actually get to know her. And it has to be in the evening, because this is going to be the best time for a date. So we have two of my best go-to options for a date. Number one, coffee. Yes, you can get coffee in the evening time. Find a really nice cafe and just grab a coffee. Or if you kind of want to go into the bad boy phenotype, you can get some shisha. Please reserve your comments about, oh, shisha's bad for you. Dude, shisha's the best date. And regardless of what your opinion is, it looks very aesthetic whenever you're smoking shisha. If you do it once a week, a couple times a month, it's not going to kill you, man. It's whenever you're smoking shisha 24/7, that's when you... My personal go-to for any date attire is going to be all black. You know, like the leather jacket always comes out for a date. I always try to steer away from anything nerdy. Like even last year on my YouTube channel, you guys saw me doing the old money aesthetic, wearing all these colors. I would never do that on a date. Anytime I go on a date, immediately, I go with my all black fit. It's gonna be the best for a date. You have to smell insanely good. So I would say 2 hours before the date, you wanna take a really good shower, pick out a really good signature scent, make sure all your clothes are really clean. You have cologne freaking everywhere. You got backup cologne, you got deodorant, everything. Your teeth are spotless. It's a minor thing, but you wanna make sure you smell as good as possible. Meet her at the date. This is 2024. There's a lot of creeps out there. Whenever you're going out with this girl, don't say, hey, I'm gonna pick you up, give me your address, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. Just tell her exactly where to meet her. I know some of you guys might say, oh, this isn't traditional, this isn't old school. I don't really agree with this, man. This is the only thing with traditionalism I think that you should just kind of avoid. Don't pick her up, meet her there. You're actually on the date with this girl. What do you do? Well, the last thing you really want to do is running your mouth. Because chances are, if this girl's on a date with you, she's already interested in you. She probably already wants to sleep with you. But the only thing that can interfere with this is by you running your mouth. You saying something that gives her an ick. You saying something that turns her off, which lots of guys do. So the ratio should be, she should be talking like 80% of the time. You should be talking about 20% of the time. Ask probing questions. Deep, but not too deep to where it's weird. Like, you want to keep it pretty initialized, but you still want to have some light banter. Like, don't just play 20 questions, man. Like, you can make some comments, you can make fun of her. Just the thing is with this, I can't really just tell you what to say. You have to keep going on more dates and build up this skill, just like I did. A couple of rules: whenever she asks you what you do for a living, always keep it very vague. For example, if a girl asks me, hey Austin, what do you do for a living? Well, I do some modeling here and there, and I have some online businesses. If she asks more probing questions than that, I typically revert to something else. I change the topic of conversation because you don't want to reveal too much about yourself. That's the thing, man. Anything you talk about on this date, here's what we want to do. We want her to reveal a lot about herself with her knowing very little about you. But because she's revealed so much to you, the goal is that she feels like she knows you very well, but then on the other end of the spectrum, she really doesn't know you very well. So you keep the mysterious, badass aura without revealing too much while building a strong connection with this complete stranger. And a couple basic rules: don't talk about any of your exes. And the number one thing I hate is don't brag. Don't brag. Don't brag about anything. And on the opposite end of that, please don't be boring, man. I was on a rooftop bar a couple weeks ago and I overheard this guy literally telling his date. He's like, well, I travel and then I stay in this hotel and it's $137 a night. And then my sleep schedule is so... I'm like, holy crap. If I was a girl, I'd rope max right there. Like, please, man, say nothing rather than be boring. Don't just fill the air because it feels awkward. If you're not going to say something interesting, just say nothing at all. This one is something that will take a little bit of mastering, I suppose. So when I'm on a date with a girl, I do something called fuck me eyes. So I kind of make it known to this girl with eye contact that I want to smash. But before the date, by the way, I will never give any sexual hints that I'm interested in her, never compliment her, never say, oh, I want to sleep with you, never imply in the slightest that you are interested sexually in this woman. But then you give her the fuck me eye. It's a Uno reverse card. She doesn't know what to expect, but then it starts building up that sexual chemistry. You know the fuck me eyes. Like, you just look deeply, intimately into their eyes. You make really good, strong eye contact. One thing that you can do is I'll play a game called the staring contest. It sounds really cringy, but pretty much you just ask this complete stranger to do a staring contest with you at the cafe, at the shisha lounge, whatever it is. And this breaks the ice. This makes you guys a lot more comfortable with each other, and it's building up that sexual tension, which is what we want. And please, I feel like I really need to say this. Don't be creepy about it. Like, if she's visibly getting uncomfortable, you gotta recognize social cues, man. Like, anytime a girl's uncomfortable, you gotta learn to back away. Anything I advise in this video, anytime she subtly hints with her body language she's not interested, she doesn't vibe with it, back away. That's when you're creepy, man. Like, you want to build sexual tension without being the creepy guy she went on a date with that kept giving her weird looks. Now, I don't think any guys really do this one, but on just about any date, I will kiss her in the middle of the date. You'll typically around the fuck me eye part of the date, that's whenever a subtle kiss on the lips will come into play. And you just want to be as casual about it as possible, but you want to make it the best kiss of her entire life to where she wants more, but then you stop right there. That way there's no pressure, anxiety leading up to the end of the date if you're gonna kiss, if anything like this. But obviously, if you guys aren't vibing, if things are not going in that direction, don't go for the kiss. But if things are going well, every time. Now, once things are wrapping up, you pay for the date, and now here's the next part. You guys both met there, but you're gonna drive her somewhere new after this date. So typically my go-to is going to be a nature spot and you listen to music. I'm sure some of you guys can imagine where this is going, but depending on the scenario, a lot of you guys can just cut the date right there. It depends where you live, kind of how the date is going, things like this. But you can either cut it there, or if you guys are really vibing, go to a nature spot and listen to music. Now, this nature spot is where you're gonna make your move to pretty much seal the deal on this date. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, hey Austin, how will I find my wife if I'm just sleeping with people on the first date? Here's the thing, man. If you're dating a girl, you kind of want to sleep with her as soon as possible. I know a lot of you guys don't really agree with this, but here's why. Before you sleep with a woman, she typically has all of the power because women are the gatekeepers to sex. So once you break this initialization, then this means that you have the power. You are the one more so on the pedestal. You always kind of want to have the power in any relationship dynamic. And it's also going to give you an awesome gauge on how much she actually desires you. That's the thing with all of this, man. When it comes to dating, you can have all the game, all the money in the world, and women will want to date you. They will want to be with you for this reason. But if they don't genuinely desire you, like they just go crazy over you, you're not doing it right, man. That's how any dating, that's how any woman should be for you. Like, they should have this burning desire to be with you. And if they don't, they give up. They give you all these excuses. They don't want to do it, which, by the way, back away at the first excuse. But if they do this, means that they're genuinely not interested in you, one, or two, They just plan to use you. A lot of girls will go on dates with you and string you along to use you for attention, free dates, free money. I don't like to be used. So low investment date, you get the power on the first date, and then everything's up to you after this point what to do. I don't want to sound arrogant, but this dating strategy pretty much gave me a 90 to 95% success rate. So it works every single time. But obviously you gotta have the fashion, you gotta be shredded, you gotta have a high SMV. So always work on yourself before putting yourself out like this in the dating market, because if you're just an average guy in 2024, it might take a shot at your ego. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that's it, man. Awesome and official for all my links, coaching, supplements, calling, everything. Subscribe if you're new. I love you with all my heart. Peace.